All right, welcome to our second part of our series, Preschool the Finnish Way. My name is Vanessa, and I am here to help understand and explain a little bit more about Finnish education in the preschool level. For those of you who were with us last week, this first slide will be just a slight review. For those of you who are new, I just want to talk a little bit about what we did last week. So in our first episode, we explored why childhood itself is a stage worth honoring, right? It's a section, it's a part of life that is all dedicated to learning and growing. Today in episode 2, we're going to look at the heartbeat of Finnish preschool, which is play. In Finland, play isn't a pause between lessons. It's not something that children have to earn. They don't have to do their worksheets first. They don't have to sit quietly before they can go play. Play is the curriculum. So why does play matter? Play is not a break, like I said. It integrates emotion, thinking, and social growth in ways no worksheet can match, no lecture can teach, right? Play is learning. Every moment of play builds critical natural pathways for future academic success. As an example, play is treated in most systems as an extra, right? As if the real learning happens somewhere else, maybe at the desk or at the table. But in Finland, that idea is flipped. All right, I'm going to move our welcome. There we go. Our idea is flipped in Finland. Play is where the deepest learning takes place. When children play, they integrate their emotions, their thinking, their creativity, and their social growth. Far from being just fun, play is serious work for a child, and it is the most powerful way to learn. Let's talk a little bit about what children learn in play, because it's a lot of different aspects of their person, their mind, and everything that goes together. So, for example, language growth through play. This is a natural development, right? When they're playing, when they're imagining, when they're working with their classmates and building things or creating things, language naturally comes. And they can practice it, they can make mistakes, and they don't feel bad about it. So language naturally develops in play. Through storytelling, they can expand their vocabulary. In pretend roles, they're building communication skills. Songs and rhymes develop phonetic awareness. For example, in our picture, we have children playing with puppets. A puppet show expands vocabulary and imagination. Building a block tower teaches persistence and problem solving, some engineering, things like that. What fits, what doesn't, how heavy is it? Will it stay on top? A pretend shop develops fairness, negotiations, and cooperation. Play doesn't separate language, social skills, and problem solving into neat little boxes. It weaves them together seamlessly, because in real life, we don't have, one single issue that we're dealing with as an adult or one problem at a time, right? We have to deal with a lot of different things. And so children are practicing how to problem solve and critical think during their playtime so that they are preparing for their future. Social skills also develop in play. Like I said, negotiations, when children are learning to express their needs and find compromises through shared play experiences, right? Cooperation, when they have to build together one tower, instead of doing their own thing, sharing materials, supporting each other's ideas. And play builds friendships, right? Play creates that natural environment to get to know each other, find things that are similar, see how they're different, but learn how to be friends with everyone. Problem solving is another aspect of play that sort of develops naturally. Through imagination, play encourages original thinking and creative solutions. Most small children don't have a manual that they follow. Oh, when I have this problem, this is how I solve it, right? They have to learn all those things. So play allows them to try ideas. Oh, they think of a thought of something in the middle of negotiating a store or a playtime with their friends, and they want to do something, but their friend doesn't. So they have to work through how to figure that out, and they don't have a script to work from. So play helps them to figure out how to solve problems. Persistence, right? When a tower falls down and they really want it to be high, they have to build it again. Games aren't working, they have to figure out how to solve them. Children learn to try again and again with new strategies. Also, flexible thinking. Every playful challenge develops the ability to see problems from multiple angles. All right, so let's talk a little bit about the whole child learning. One playful theme, but many, many outcomes. This is why Finnish educators call play whole child learning. Children don't think, okay, now I'm going to practice math, and then they go do some math. Now I'm going to practice reading, and they go do some reading. Nope. They're just playing, right? They pick up a book, they try to read it, they have some store playtime, imaginative playtime, and they pretend to sell, right? With coins, how many, all that stuff. So it's all works together. They're just playing, but inside that play, there's mathematics, there's language, there's social emotional growth, and creative thinking are happening at the same time. The learning is natural, joyful, and deeply meaningful. And this way of learning through play is also the foundation of Finland's broader philosophy, which is phenomenon-based learning. Learning in context through real-world themes. This kind of sounds complex, but it's really quite simple. Instead of dividing the day into isolated subjects, children explore real-world themes that bring all these skills together. Preschool play is the earliest form of this. This is where they begin that first idea that the world is bigger and more complicated than just themselves or just their friends or just their toys. When children play with water or explore light and shadows or pretend to run a market, they're experiencing connected learning, not fragmented lessons. Let me just share an example, right? So if your preschool has fruits and vegetables or a stand or some kind of a market corner, right? When the children go to play there, they're developing, among many, they're developing 3 skills that I will discuss today. Math skills by counting money, weighing fruits, comparing quantities, right? I want 2, okay, and then the child gives them 3. No, I want 2, right? So then they have to work out what exactly is 2. Language development. They're learning the names of things, vocabulary expansion. They're learning how to ask questions so that their peers can understand them. And some of them might be following directions if they're not in a leadership role in the role play. They're also learning how to take turns, be fair in how they play. They're being responsible. Maybe they have to clean up. And believe it or not, they're learning customer service, right? How to be friendly when something goes wrong. So those are all social skills. And that's just from one little corner in your preschool, which is market day. Okay, so why does this matter? This matters because it changes the very purpose of education. Instead of memorizing isolated facts where the young children are sitting down and they're learning A, B, C, children learn how to think, how to connect ideas, and how to collaborate. I was just reading recently that in Korea, children spend the first 3 years of school not learning academics at all, but values of how to treat each other, how to understand each other, how to be polite, how to get along with their peers and collaborate. So curiosity leads to connection. Connection leads to collaboration. and collaboration leads to the skills that prepare them not just for school, but they're also getting ready for life, because what they're seeing in the adults, when they're in the kitchen, when they're at work, when they're in the grocery store, all of those things children are absorbing in huge quantities. And they're just processing through that and figuring out how to do what the adults in their lives are doing. Let's look at a practical application here. Bringing play into your context. There are 3 simple ways to prioritize play. First, you can expand your playtime. Instead of it being at the end of a learning session for like 10, 15 minutes, make it the learning session, right? 45 minutes, 50 minutes. You can make it open-ended play where they're just going to stations or areas in the room that you've already set up. Or you can have a more guided play where you're helping them to collaborate and work together on a particular project. Another option is to use everyday items, right? If we have a lot of toys that are already sort of designed to be used in a certain way, it stifles children's creativity. So using open-ended toys, sticks, boxes, blocks that don't have pictures, things that are just open-ended will allow the children and the students to use their imagination and be creative. Thirdly, you can just step back and let the children have time to work through something. If their tower falls, instead of stepping in right away, allow them to sit there and figure out, okay, how am I going to fix this problem? I want my tower. What can I do? Right? So you can connect with them in a variety of ways and bring some options into your preschool that are more practical. Let's look at our research spotlight. Finnish research confirms that children learn best when they are actively engaged in meaningful play. This comes from the Finnish National Agency for Education. And the other one from Educational Finland adds, play supports the development of thinking, memory, and problem solving, skills needed for lifelong learning. So play isn't just nice to have, it is the foundation of lifelong learning. We want our students to have a strong foundation so they can move forward. Another reason play is so powerful is that it belongs to every child. You don't need expensive toys or high-tech classrooms. A stick can be a wand. A cardboard box can become a rocket ship. Fabric scraps, sand, stones, all of these spark imagination and creativity. Play is the most equitable form of learning there is because it's fueled by imagination, not money, not a particular company, not a particular direction. Children, students can move in any direction that they want, whatever they're interested in, wherever their interests lie. So as part of my series, I always want to step back and not make this a huge lecture, but make it an integrated, collaborative effort with my audience. So I have a reflection question for you. How might you protect time for play in your context? What would it take to honor play as real learning in your classroom or even at home? Consider the barriers and the possibilities in your unique environment. Share some of your ideas of how to bring play into your environment, because I'm sure there are other teachers out there that would love to hear your creative ideas. In Finnish preschool, there's a balance. We have free play plus guided play, and together they're what make the balance. Children enjoy long stretches of free play alongside guided opportunities where teachers set up environments that spark curiosity. But the children lead the play. Teachers do not step in and say, okay, this is what you have to do. They step back, they observe, they listen, and they step in gently only when needed. This trust in a child's play is what creates confident, creative, independent learners. So our next session is stepping outside into nature as the third teacher. We'll explore how Finnish preschools embrace outdoor play every day, in every season, and why nature itself is seen as the most powerful classroom. I hope you'll join me. Don't forget to like and subscribe so that you can be notified for our next episode when it's ready. Thanks for coming and joining in our conversation. Do drop a note or a comment below and let me know what you think of our series. Thank you.